Hey guys, what's up? Another job that I'm out on here is this old pond. You can see it's pretty steep. I actually cleaned this pond out last year. It had a bunch of sediment, probably 4 foot of sediment in it. I actually cleaned it out and I told him right away it's just not going to hold, and it's never held. But this is not going to hold because see how steep it is here and over here. That is, we're not, you can look, no clay at all. It's flint rock and that's about it. So the problem is when you get and try to put a pond in a really steep draw like this. So I mean, say for instance, that draw over there is real shallow. That's why that pond's holding. This one here is so steep and there's so many flint rocks here. It's just not going to hold. And I mean, I compacted the heck out of it, you know, with a D6. But I just told him right away that the chances of it holding are going to be very slim, because again, you're not down to the clay. The deeper you go, the steeper it gets, and you just can't get enough clay. You can't go deep enough to get enough clay. So that's the problem that you have on these old ponds like this. So I told him to give it a year and see what it does, and within that year time, it was just never going to hold. And that's what I told him. So anyway, we're going to tear her down now and going to shove her back in, try to clean it up a little bit, make it more presentable where he can mow or brush hog over it. So well, what I'm going to do, there's actually quite a bit of usable topsoil on the back side of the dam and some on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down here with the excavator first. I'm going to go in here and start stripping this off the back side of the dam, something that's usable, and kind of set it aside where I can just pile it up over there. And then I'll get up here and do the same with what's on top. Just trying to save something that we can put over that. Chances are he's probably going to have to he's probably gonna have to bring some dirt in at some point in time and lay over, because this is just gonna, time it rains and washes all the dirt down, he's gonna have nothing but rocks. So anyway, I'll move back up on top of the dam, and then I'll take and pull what's topsoil is on top of the dam off and throw it down as well. So anyway, that's going to be the plan. As a matter of fact, I may actually crawl up on top of the dam first and do that, throw it down, and that way I don't have to move it again. But that's probably what I'll do. And then, just like I said, kind of pull the topsoil that's on the back side of the dam, pull it back, and just keep it there, and that way I can bring the loader or something in here and try to shove it back forward. I'd bring the D6 back over here, but it's actually on a job site. I'm going to be moving to that job site next, so I really don't want to move it from there and then have to move it back. So anyway, we're going to get the 210 unloaded, and we're going to start throwing some dirt. problem on these county roads. The dang county doesn't keep the trees trimmed back most of the time far enough, and you'll smack them. Should be a decent amount because I stacked a bunch. I stacked a bunch on top of here that come out of the pond. Just gonna try to get him something that grows some grass. Yeah, we're so far so good. A little bit of rocks in there ain't gonna matter. Because I took quite a bit of sediment out of here and soil that had washed in. It ain't gonna, you know, it's not gonna grow very good for a while, but at least that'll get him, you know, that'll get him something over time. It can start growing. So, this dam had a bunch of trees on it, and it just wasn't maintained when it was built, and it was just gonna be, I mean, it was never going to be a good pond. You just can't build ponds with these steep draws like this. Not in this part of the country. There is just too much flint rock around here, and you got to be able to get to that clay layer. You just have to. She was just kind of doomed from day one. Bring clay in here and line this pond with 1.5 foot of clay and probably be okay. But, you know, again, you're talking a decent expense to do that. And he just didn't want to mess with it. Which I understand. And there's not enough sealable soil to bring bentonite in to put in here either. I mean, it'd be wasting bentonite. sure they didn't core this dam out either when they were doing it. So that's, you know, that's not going to help either. Man, at some point in time, we've got to get into some rocks. I don't want to throw all the dirt over here and then have to move it back over there, but I'm also not wanting to pile a bunch of rocks on usable topsoil. So we gotta have a rock dam down here somewhere. I guarantee you there ain't all topsoil here. I mean, right out there you got about probably 6 inches of topsoil and it's all rock again. Granted, this is in a draw, but which they'll have more. You'll have more topsoil washed in these low spots than you would up on the high spots. But like I said, I don't want to move all the dirt over here. Have to move it again. I could be flinging some off in there, but I don't want, again, I don't want to. All right, guys. I want to show you something here on this pond as to why that this pond was destined to fail. There was why it was never going to work. See right here, there's no clay or no compactable material in this dam. Nothing. Not a thing. It is topsoil and a silty, see, there's no, that dirt just falls apart. There's no, see, even pushing it, you have to really push it to get to stick, and it's really wet right now. So, you know, we are, well, you can see right there's the face of the dam and how far we're back, and see how wet, I mean, it is wet. And we're, well, I'm almost 6 foot, so we're 7 foot, you know, we're 7 foot deep. And so the water, I mean, not only was it going down into there, but even when it was up on here, it was soaking all the way back. And see, here's more mud. And if I was to clean this off, you know, I'm confident it would be the same way. There's a little bit of clay, and I think that's probably what I put on there. But I mean, you can just see up here, see how rocky? All flint rocks, even over there. But the amount of moisture, this is all real wet. The amount of moisture that was inside this dam, you know, right there, that's all sticky, really sticky, wet. This is, like I said, this dam was just destined to fail. It was never going to work. So anyway, a little bit of tidbit there. Oftentimes people don't understand what's called hydrostatic pressure, and basically that is, I mean, even water has gravity, and that gravity pushes down. And then the weight of the water pushes down. So any little crack, any little void, any material that's not compactable, as it fills, it creates more pressure on the bottom and out to the sides, and it will start forcing the water into cracks and stuff, into the dam like it did here, and down through the ground. And that's why ponds struggle oftentimes. The only caveat to this rule is if you are in a bottom, in this at least, and I'm speaking for my part of the country, Southwest Missouri, unless you were in a creek bottom, topsoil will not hold water. Ironically, in the creek bottoms, because there is a gray clay mixed into the topsoil in this part of the country, ironically, some of the best ponds I've ever built were in creek bottoms and strictly made out of topsoil. But again, that topsoil has a clay content in it, so once you get it packed in there and compressed, it won't let the water through, unlike this one. Basically what they have done is this draw here had a decent amount of topsoil gathered in here, so in essence that's what they done, dammed this up with topsoil. So anyway, making a little progress, and I'm gonna get back after it. All right, guys, I'll just show you a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna get off my soapbox. It just, pardon the expression, this just pisses me off when operators will come in and do this. But I mean, you can see again, you know, we're 8-9 foot up, or actually down. Again, see here, that's all moisture. So we're down almost to where the virgin ground is at, and that's how much that is pushed through. And again, you just, you know, especially when you get up here a little bit, all this stuff, see there, this is, you know, 4 foot down. I mean, granted, I added some, but I didn't add this much. But see here just how, that's why this, you know, again, I could avalanche on me here, but to see this, no compaction at all, you know. Basically, you can see right here, from here up is where I added when I cleaned it out. From here down was already here. See here? Just, see, I'm just running my hand over it. Anyway, a little bit of clay in here, you know, a little bit, but even at that, I'm just raking it away with my hands. Pond 101. Don't do what this guy did when they built this pond. Never gonna work, and you're throwing your money away. It's pissing her right out the window. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I gotta get going on this. All right, guys, I'm gonna go and run and grab the 850 and get it over here. Maybe kind of where I'm at here. A lot more dirt to move, but I'm gonna have to start shaping this. I really wish I could bring the loader over here because it would push this better, but the mechanic's going to be there in the morning to put the sprocket segments on, and so I may end up with it out here as well, but it would definitely push this dirt better than the 850 would. But anyway, I'll probably bring the 850 out first, try it. I guess worst case scenario, I can run back and grab the loader and get it out here, and then he can just change the sprocket segments out here. So anyway, we'll see how it all lays out, see how the 850 does pushing this. But there's a lot of material to push for that thing. So anyway, we're gonna go grab it. All right, guys, I'm back. I went and picked up the 53, and I'd done this. I went and picked the 53 up specifically for one of my subscribers, C-Tane, because he's always razzing me about not using the 53. So, buddy, this is 100% for you. I hope you get a little bit of enjoyment out of it, because he's kind of like me. I think he's kind of a track loader. He kind of likes track loader porn, so to speak. But anyway, buddy, this is for you. And so here we go. I'm gonna get to moving some dirt before we get wet. With rain, that is. Dirt's wet. Yeah, the 0850 would have struggled. Struggled for sure. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I am gonna go ahead, take that dirt there and get it spread out and kind of work this, and then I'm gonna be done. So that won't take but 30 minutes probably. So anyway, I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna get out of here. The mechanic's coming here tomorrow to put the sprocket segments on this. So I talked to him today, so that'll be good. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments. I'll be sure to answer them and pass on the good word. See you guys.